Welcome back to week 7. We got the Pickem edition. We're going to give you the odds and who to take and who to put the hammer down on. I will real quick. George, who was your lock last week?
Who was my lock last week?
I believe your lock was Houston last week.
Yeah.
Granted, they came back. Like, it was about the third quarter. I looked up, saw the score of that game, and I was like, oof, George is not doing well with his lock. I looked back up, and it was in overtime. I was like, what happened in this game?
I'm still working on the Pickem thing, and I'm still working on the locks of the week. And I even when I picked the Chargers the week before, they almost made it. So
yeah, your locks. You like to pick your lock of the week as an underdog, and I like that out of you. That's what I appreciate about you. So
sure.
All right, let's start out with the Thursday game. I'm back to railing on Thursday games, by the way, because we have another stinker. We got two NFC East teams here who can't figure – like, especially Miles Sanders is hurt. Saquon Barkley's out for the year. Zach Ertz is hurt. Darius Slayton's hurt. C.J. Board is hurt. Like, that dude, by the way. Like, did you see that on Sunday? Oof. Alshon Jeffrey's hurt. Maybe Deshaun Jackson's coming back. But, I mean, the whole Philadelphia Eagles line is hurt. And somehow they're still favored to win by 4 at home. George, who you got in this one?
I would go Eagles with this. I think that Carson Wentz is looking better. I think a lot of his weapons are coming back. I think Ertz getting hurt just kind of gets him out of the way, so there's less like conversation around why he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Hopefully he gets Goddard back. Hopefully he gets a couple of his receivers back. I'm just seeing more and more positives for the Eagles, especially with Rager coming back eventually. They look like they're going to be a pretty solid team. So I picked the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the Eagles in the points. I think that I'm not super impressed. Although the Giants defense is not terrible, I'm not super impressed with the Giants. I still don't think there's enough offense there. Although Devonta Freeman has not looked bad. He might have found his way back into the league. So we'll see if he gets a shot after this season with another team there and gets maybe another like a 2-year deal somewhere.
For sure.
Next up on the list, we've got Buffalo, and this one's the lock of the week, and it's probably not all that fair, but we got Buffalo playing on the road in New York. Buffalo favored by 13, and I'm still going to tell you to hammer Buffalo by 13. I think Buffalo wins this game, going away, playing angry by probably 20+. What do you think, George?
I think the Bills are going to win. I don't know if I would take the points. I think the Jets Buffalo does have a tendency they'll play really good against who they're supposed to play well against. But there's also some of the bottom of the league. Sometimes they have a tendency to kind of just like go to their level. So I think they'll win, but I don't think it's going to be by 13.
There you go. Well, I'm going to still take Buffalo and have them as the lock of the week for me at 13.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. Lock it up.
You lock it up.
So we're gonna take that one. We're both taking Buffalo there. Next up on the list, we've got Carolina playing on the road in New Orleans. Now this is a tough one for me. Carolina looked like maybe they were a team that was figuring it out, and they just didn't look good against the Bears. And we've also probably got Christian McCaffrey coming back this week. I don't see him on the injury report. I'm not sure if that's official or not or what the scenario is there. But if C-Mac comes back this week, that kind of changes things a little bit for me. New Orleans is still sitting there at 3-2, heavily involved in that division. Just comes off a bye week. They're playing at home. You got to feel like New Orleans is still going to be the winner there. Although I don't know if I'm taking the points. They are favored by 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going Saints. Hopefully the bye week allowed them to get healed up a little, especially on the defense in the secondary. And I just think that they're a better, more well-rounded team.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think here's what I would tell you from this perspective is in a straight pick 'em, I'm taking the Saints. If you're betting on this one, I think I would probably take Carolina and Carolina to cover, right? So that's probably how I kind of look at this one from that perspective. But I think it'll end up being a somewhat close game. But I think the Saints pull this one out towards the end. We got Cleveland going into Cincinnati, playing Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati played Cleveland tough earlier in the year. They went up 21-0 against my Colts. Looked good for for just over a quarter, and then scored 3 points the rest of the game. Cleveland is favored on the road by 3. What do you got?
I'm going to go Browns. I'm hoping for they bounce back from the bad showing that they had on Sunday. Another reason is I think Joe Mixon is hurt or he's definitely banged up.
He's banged up for sure. Yeah, he got banged up in that game. So
I'm thinking the Browns are probably going to be able to pull this one off.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Again, straight pick 'em. I think I've got to take Cleveland, but this is one from a betting angle I would just stay away from. I don't know that I trusted enough to say that I would hammer this one either way. We've got a pick 'em, another NFC East rivalry game here. Washington coming all the way out to Dallas coming all the way out to play the Washington football team. Somehow or another, Dallas is still leading that division. Let's just go ahead and keep that in mind. So the division leading Dallas Cowboys are playing Washington. It's a toss-up. I feel like I've got to go ahead and take the Cowboys in this game, but man, I do not feel comfortable about it. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, and it's reflected by the -1 odds. But I'm gonna have to go Cowboys with this one. They just have better weapons. They have to just get it together a little bit better. Washington has a deceptively good defense,
They do, yeah.
so it's just a matter of the battle of the backup quarterbacks.
The battle of the back. Well, I don't know that you can consider Kyle Allen a backup anymore. When you get pulled, like you are now the quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good point. But they all, to me, that they have backup kind of
Yeah,
skill
I'm
set.
with you. All right, I'm with you. I'm taking Dallas. I just don't love it. Detroit going on the road to Atlanta. Atlanta is favored by 2 here. Detroit looked pretty good last week in a win that I don't think a lot of people. Well, I won't say they weren't expected to get. Like Jacksonville's obviously not great, but what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm going to go Lions. One of the reasons is just with DeAndre Swift kind of getting a bigger piece of that role. I feel like that they can help. That can help with the tempo of the overall game. I think that personally, I think the Lions could be pretty close to 3-2 at this point, or they could even be close to 4-1. They've lost a lot of really close games.
Well, they lost that game early in the season against the Bears. That should have been a win for them. And so they would be 3-2 there. I mean, that's probably the big one that I saw that they should have won. But yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going to take Detroit on the road as well, laying the points. So laying the +2. We've got Green Bay playing in Houston. I've got Green Bay. So let me tell you the odds on this one. Green Bay is favored by 3.5. I don't usually like taking road teams laying points. But I think Green Bay is coming in. They're playing angry, and I think I would take Green Bay on this one on the road in Houston.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one. I think the Packers are going to win it.
I like it. I don't know that, George. I don't know that we've disagreed on one yet. We've had some of these in the past. We've got Pittsburgh playing on the road in Tennessee. 2-5-0. Someone's not going to be undefeated after this one. Pittsburgh is favored on the road by 2 in Tennessee. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to go Titans.
You're going Titans. You were down on the Titans last week. You thought they were losing to Pittsburgh or to Houston. Didn't happen. I'm going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's got too many weapons. And if I'm not mistaken, could be wrong, I think Pittsburgh has the top run defense in the NFL right now. So that's a spot where I look at that. I think if they can stop, I don't know that they can. So that's saying a lot out of the gate. But if they can stop Derrick Henry, that becomes a difference maker for them in this game.
Yeah, the Titans are getting healthy again. They're getting a lot of their players off the COVID list. Trying to think of Corey. anyway, that they're getting a lot of the wide receivers that they were really leaning on in the beginning of the year. They're getting AJ
Corey
Brown
Davis,
back.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, Corey Davis. So I'm thinking it's really close. Trust me, and I do understand that the Steelers have the best run defense, but I think the Titans are going to pull it out.
Okay, well that's an interesting one. I like that out of you though.
Somebody's got to lose.
So
They're 5 and
we were,
5,
I was gonna
not
say
5 and 0.
we were talking about that earlier in the season that someone, unfortunately, when you're looking at these games, someone's gonna lose, and at least we have a different we finally have a different
Mm-hmm.
pick on this one, so we got that going for us. All right, so the next game we have here in week 7 is the Cardinals playing at home to the Seahawks. Seahawks are favored 3.5 on the road. George, what are you thinking about this one?
I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be really competitive. I actually could see this one as being somewhat low scoring because that's just kind of the way they play each other. It's usually a kind of a dink and dunk type of situation. I'm going to go with the Seahawks to prevail.
Wow, you're taking the Hawks. You know what? I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I know earlier in the season I took the Cardinals. You know what? Screw it, changing my mind. I took the Cardinals earlier in the season. I'm taking the Cardinals now. You got to risk the biscuit to win it.
No risk it, no biscuit.
No risk it, no biscuit. All right, we've got the Chiefs playing on the road in Denver. Chiefs by 9 is what Vegas tells us. I don't think the Chiefs are covering. I think this will be a closer game than what it looks like on paper. I know the Broncos defense is bad, or not the Broncos offense, excuse me, is bad, but that defense will keep them kind of vaguely in this game. They'll stick around, and I don't think it's going to be super close. Like I don't feel like the Broncos are going to feel like they're in this one or that they were ever going to win it. But I don't think that the Chiefs will cover. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Chiefs. I like what I saw out of the Chiefs defense last week with the Bills. And I think the Chiefs are going to win. For coverage, I'll assume the Chiefs are going to run away with it. They're going to do at least 9.5 points, but I'm not 100% confident on the amount of points for that one.
That's a tough
But
one. Yeah, that's snug. Next one, we got the Patriots at home playing angry. At least I hope they ought to be playing angry after laying an egg against the Broncos to the Niners. At least it's in the afternoon, but I never like these games when the West Coast team is coming across. And the Niners this year have been just this roller coaster. You can't seem to. Last week they played great. They beat the Rams. They beat them out of the stadium. The week before they got slaughtered by the Dolphins. I just don't know which Niners team is going to show up. What are your thoughts on this one?
so I think the Patriots are going to win. I don't think the Patriots are bad in regard to. I don't think that they're less than a 8-8 team. The things I don't like about the Niners this week is Mostert's hurt. I think that that's going to come up big. I also expect the Patriots to scheme and be ready for the Niners. So I think the Patriots are winning this one.
Oh, I got you. I'm with you on the Pats on this one. I don't know. I still think those Niner injuries are going to catch up with them. And like you said, Mostert's injured too. And I don't see Jimmy G coming back home and beating Coach Hoodie. So I am going to take the Pats here. The next one we have on the docket is the Jaguars playing on the road, SoFi Stadium against the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 7.5 on this one. I don't know that the Chargers cover, but I do think they win this game.
I agree. I've been in the Jaguars bandwagon for long enough. My Minshew mania is slowly dying, and I think Justin Herbert deserves a win after some of the great games he's put up.
It seems like every time we give up on somebody, save Minshew, I gave up on him a long time ago and tossed it out. But like every time, like I gave up on Rivers last week, he was am I scared about, and he had a monster game. We gave up on another player a couple weeks ago, boom, monster game. But I'm with you. I've already given up against the Jaguars, and I think they are who we thought they were, and that defense can't really stop anybody. So I'm taking the Chargers as well.
So what's good is like Minshew is actually probably like eighth or ninth in the league right now, like just from like garbage time. And if the Chargers get out ahead, then he will continue to do really well. He's not bad. He just never like really steps up to be like,
He's
oh my
he's not
God.
going to go win you games. Yeah.
Right.
We've got the Bucks playing on the road in Vegas against the Raiders. The Raiders have proved to be a tough out at home, but they're a little bit like the Niners. They're kind of a roller coastery team. You're not really sure who's going to show up. I'm going to take Tampa Tom and the Bucks in this one. They are favored by 2.5. I'd probably stay away from the betting line, but I think I am going to take Tampa Bay on this one in the straight pick 'em. What do you think?
Yeah, I got the Bucks too. I just think that I think that Bucks defense is going to pay off again, and I think that Tom Terrific is going to manage the game.
Tampa Tom Terrific is going to manage this game up. All right, well, we've got the Bears playing on the road Monday night against the Rams, SoFi Stadium. I finally broke down and took the Bears last week in a game, and they went ahead and won. They proved out for us against Carolina. I'm not going to do it 2 weeks in a row, though. I'm back to hating on the Bears and their week schedule. I'm taking the Rams here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Rams are really going to win. They are perfect at home so far. The Bears are 3-0 away from Chicago. I don't think that's going to last. I think this is going to be one of those games that the Rams win. And the Bears have just been kind of outperforming their 5-1 record.
Cannot disagree with you there. Well, awesome. Well, that's what we've got for you this week. We'll check back in next week, let you know how we all did. Hopefully, y'all can take this knowledge and do whatever you may with it. But take it and enjoy it. George, you have fun here in week 7?
So much fun. A lot of the things
So much fun.
A lot of things that we that were predetermined or predestined with our drafts this year are coming to fruition. I'm excited to see it, and I am looking forward to seeing some action this weekend.
Here's to DeAndre Swift, my friend.